Hello, I'm John White. With me today is Valois Pierce, and Valois is a master gardener here in Doñana County. Valois, what did you bring with you?
Well, we get a lot of phone calls from people with problem hot areas with poor soil, and the 100-degree days that we had were really hard on plants. And I wanted to bring what we all commonly call sages, and I know a lot of them aren't sages, but they're beautiful to look at, they're hardy, relatively disease resistant,
Right.
and the grasshoppers don't do much damage. The first one is our Texas Ranger.
Okay. Leucophyllum.
Mm-hmm.
Leucophyllum frutescens.
Smells good too.
Oh, yeah. Now, the leucophyllums are commonly called sages, and they do real well in a hot, dry climate. If you plant them in a heavy soil, or tend to overwater, you can actually rot these plants out. So they're really plants that like to get by with very little care and maintenance. They don't have hardly any insect problems at all. The worst problem is probably overwatering.
And they get really long and wrangly looking.
They can.
And they like to be pruned back severely.
Right. We don't like to shear them. We are working with kind of a native plant, and it's a shame to come in and have to shear them when you're working with a native plant. So you can do some selective pruning on it. Say this branch is a little too tall, you can come in and cut it at one of the points where you have a side shoot coming off. So you can clip that off, and these will take off in growth. So you can remove the height on it. So you can kind of dress them up a little bit that way. Also, there's about 11 different varieties or cultivars of leucophyllum now. So there's a lot of choices.
And since it is a soft wood, could you do a softwood cutting from this?
Right, you can do this. Even though it kind of feels soft to the touch and everything, this is actually a semi-hardwood cutting right now. But you can take a cutting, strip some of the leaves off, dip the cutting in a rooting hormone, and then stick it in a good sterile soil mix and keep it moist, and it will root out.
Well, good activity for the fall and winter.
That's right. You also have another leucophyllum here.
Yes, this is a nice one.
This one is called Green Cloud, and it's because of the dark green foliage on it. You can see the difference in the flower on it. It's a much deeper purple flower, so it really stands out against the dark green foliage. And this is one of the newer cultivars, and you can see how much thicker it is. Has a lot more foliage on it, and when it does bloom, it really fills in bloom. So
it's a nice contrast.
Right.
The gray and the dark green.
Excellent one. It's used. You see it used a lot in the southern part of the state.
Is this one an evergreen?
They're all considered evergreens on the leucophyllums.
This is the Scarlet Sage.
Okay. Salvia.
Salvia. And what I like about this one is planting it near the house because the hummingbirds absolutely love this one.
You'll find hummingbirds that really love the salvia. So if you're really trying to attract hummingbirds, there's a wide variety of salvias that can be grown in the landscape, and this is one that people ought to spend a little bit more time working with, because the salvias really do give you a lot of bang for the buck, and very little insect problems. You know, if you try and over fertilize it and overwater it and get it too succulent, you can bring some insect problems on you. But just get them planted and just give them minimal amounts of water and fertilizer, and they'll bloom up a storm and have very little problems.
And one of the few that does quite well in the shade too.
Right, it'll do good in a semi-shade area. Right,
yeah, I like that about that one. This is the Mexican sage, and the other thing that I like about this, although it's beautiful and it does very well, it dries very lovely. It'll stay purple and flatten out, and then you can do really pretty little pictures and bookmarks and things like that with it. So that's another positive about this one.
Now again, the salvias are excellent plants. A lot of different color variation in them. You can get the blues to the pinks to the reds. I think there's a white. So there's a lot of different ones. There's the Salvia greyi that a lot of people like to grow, which is your coral or autumn sage, and that's a kind of a woody ornamental that does quite well, and so that's another one that people can use and use quite well. So again, the salvias are great ones to use.
And they're real easy to find. I'm noticing that a lot of the local nurseries definitely the ones that are carrying native plants, but the local nurseries are all carrying a large variety of the sages. Now, you did comment on that the real sage is a herbal sage that you
Right.
cook with.
Right. So when you say sage, you really need to know the genus of the plant, so that you're talking salvias or leucophyllums or what to distinguish. But
But if you
they
want,
do all come from kind of a Mediterranean arid climate type situation, so they're good for plant material here in New Mexico.
that's right. And if you want an easy plant and you're kind of a negligent gardener, the sages will do very well for you.
That's right. Blois, thank you very much for being here
Thank
today.
you.